Tomyo educational technology platform won the first place in the Seedstars Ulaanbaatar 2020 and 21 and qualified for the regional stage. According to the draft budget for 2021, the deficit would be 2.1 trillion Mongolian turks, which is 2.6 trillion MNT less than this year's deficit. The mining sector is projected to contribute 3.4 trillion Mongolian turks to the state budget next year. Mongolia and JICA signed 25 billion Japanese yen loan agreement. Hello and welcome to Cycle, the program focused on Mongolian business and economy. My name is Batsir Namshir. Seedstars Ulaanbaatar took place on October the 31st. That was Mongolian national competition for Seedstars World competition. First of all, let me give you the basic understanding of Seedstars. Seedstars is an international community based in Switzerland with a mission to impact people's lives in emerging markets through technology and entrepreneurship. They organize Seedstars World Summit and competition every year to promote startups around the world. They look for the most promising early-stage startups from over 90 emerging markets that would receive intensive training on how to be investment-ready. Startups around the world take part in local, regional and global stage competitions, but only one of them is crowned as the global winner.
I still think the most unique part of the Seedstars Summit is the fact that we are literally hundreds of people from different backgrounds, countries. I mean, everything could separate us, but when it comes down to what we're doing and why we're doing it, suddenly we speak the same language. And I always find that really impressive and unique.
I am a true believer of what Seedstars is trying to do. I believe that there's a lot of innovation in emerging markets. We are trying to solve real problems, and I think that Seedstars is doing that in a very big and scalable way, and I love to be part of that.
Most of us, spend time networking with each other and, looking at how we can collaborate, in our individual businesses to help each other scale.
The best thing I love about Seedstars Global Summit is that I'm able to make the connections that I would not have a chance to make if I would stay at my home or stay in Asia. Second of all, the ability to meet the super passionate entrepreneurs from around the world. That's why I'm here for the third time.
Companies from the less developed country and companies from the developed countries, they have the big difference between the financing and HR, for example. There are big difference. So the Seedstars World is only concentrating on emerging markets and also developing countries like Mongolia. Yeah.
On October the 31st, Seedstars Ulaanbaatar, the local competition in Mongolia for Seedstars World competition, was held by Startup Marketing Space. SMS, or Startup Marketing Space, is the local partner of Seedstars, which aims to support entrepreneurs in Mongolia.
SMS is a abbreviation of Startup Marketing Space LLC, and is founded by two guys, and Ms. Zolzaya and Mr. Mukhbayer, and which was 2017, I guess, and at this year, also SMS LLC was selected as the local partner of Seedstars World.
SMS Center provides startups with co-working space and they try to develop a startup ecosystem in the country.
We are focusing on the, I said before, the supporting entrepreneurs and startup companies also here in our office. There are around 50 members and also 30 companies. Right now they are running business here at this office.
A total of 40 Mongolian startups participated in this year's local competition, and one of them qualified to represent Mongolia at the regional stage of the competition.
Seedstars Ulaanbaatar 2020, it was the the competition which held the physical space on the world for this year because of the COVID-19. They're all 93 countries and Seedstars competitions and local competitions which were held by online. The only Mongolia held by physically.
In Mongolia, the first Seedstars Ulaanbaatar competition was held in 2018, and Urxus Inc., sales and marketing platform developer, was selected as the winner and took part in the world competition. Urxus Inc. is the tech entrepreneur in Mongolia, which offers an all-in-one messaging platform for teams and individuals to take care of their customers.
After the regional summit, we have really understood that, oh, this is what we're supposed to do, this is what we should do. And it was really great that we not only, attending and having a booth or pitching on the stage, but we have given opportunity to attend the workshops and, sharing our knowledge and being vulnerable that, what could have went well, what has happened in the past or something. Some of our achievements are, I think, getting really high. For example, in the last October or so, when the local summit happened, our numbers were very short, but team got really excited about we're gonna go to the global competition, we should work hard, and then that's really happened. So since we are developing open source platform, there were just 100 or 150 people were interested in, but now there's like over 1,000, 1,500 or over 1,000 people are using our platform in 60 countries. So that's it was very helpful that spread the word out. Yeah.
In 2019, iHotel participated in the world competition representing Mongolia. iHotel is the company which has been operating since 2016. They develop online travel agency for hotels, resorts and tourist camps in Mongolia.
My name is Zolka, I'm from Mongolia. In 2014, my friend Erka and I established a hotel management consulting company. We increased their revenues between 12 to 80,000 US dollars per year. While we working with small and medium hoteliers, we saw very common and unacceptable problem they're facing. Problem is, in the world, 79% of travelers, they're booking hotels online. But in emerging markets, only 38% of hotels are online. In Kazakhstan, only 24%. You can't book these real exotic, unique places book online. Now, 35% of hotels working with us in Mongolia is growing very fast. This October, Singaporean VC fund invested us. Now we established our company, head company in Singapore for preferred international markets. We are very experienced team members, technology, startup, and the entrepreneur. Okay, who want 5-star hotel? Or who want 5 million star hotel? Choose iHotel.
This year, Tomyo educational technology platform won the first place at the Seedstars Ulaanbaatar 2020 and 21 and qualified for the regional stage.
Tomyo is a mobile platform that recommends you your specific personalized learning journey. And we are a platform in a sense, right? So we're having users who wants to go and study abroad. On the other side, we have the service providers. So these service providers include, the language centers, teachers, institutions, universities, scholarships, and all sorts of players who are currently providing any of the study abroad services. Seedstars Seedstars for us was the first ever kind of international competition, and we were very nervous when we were pitching at the event. It was only 3 minutes and we never had that experience before, but we're excited that we became the local winner here in Mongolia, and especially in the times of COVID, I think our product is relevant for not just Mongolia but worldwide, so we're very excited to go to the regional and the world competitions.
The main difference between first 2 years and this year was maybe the solution. Maybe solution was very unique. It was education platform, the Tomyo, and also the education is the wide problem, not only Mongolia, all around the world.
Our company, we just launched our product to the public in May this year, so it's been less than 5 months, and we have more than 70,000 registered users and very good active usage on our platform. So we think, right now our goal is just not to scale locally here in Mongolia, but try and have more partners in Kazakhstan, in Korea, and in Sri Lanka and the other countries as well. So we're trying to really scale our product internationally right now. With Tomyo, we're very excited to go to the Seedstars regional competitions. We saw that in the previous years, actually the winner was an edtech company like ours, but their focus was pretty much, connecting the parents with the schools. Now I think we have a good chance because our platform is similar to that, but we're trying to, connect students with the service providers. So I think it's going to be an exciting journey for us.
In this year's competition, pioneer crowdfunding platform in Mongolia, CrowdAsset, took the second place, while Autoshop, online trading application, won the third place. The local stage winners will compete on the regional level, and the grand finale will be held in April 2021, bringing together the winners of all 5 regional stages for in-depth entrepreneurial training and the opportunity to compete for the title of global winner and the prize of up to $500,000 in equity investment. The government of Mongolia is trying to reduce the budget deficit in 2021. According to the draft budget for next year, the deficit would be 2.1 trillion Mongolian tugrus, which 2.6 trillion MNT less than this year's deficit. The finance minister said that the budget deficit would be 5.1% of GDP, that is under permissible limit. This year, the budget deficit is over 12% of GDP, much higher than allowed by law. Can we really reduce the budget deficit in 2021? That will depend on how much revenue would be collected. The equilibrated revenue is projected to reach 11.7 trillion MNT, which is 27.9% of GDP, and expenditure is projected to be 13.9 trillion Mongolian tugrus, which is 33% of GDP. The revenue for next year is projected at 892 billion MNT higher than in the 2019 budget, and 2.1 trillion MNT higher in the 2020 budget. Some economists say that the government is over-optimistic about the country's revenue. Covering the deficit would be one of the challenges to the government next year. The government plans to cover the deficit by issuing domestic bonds and receiving foreign loans. According to the draft budget, 2.1 trillion Mongolian tugrus would be raised through domestic bonds and 1.5 trillion MNT from foreign grants and loans, and half of them would be spent covering the budget deficit. The mining sector is projected to contribute 3.4 trillion MNT to the state budget next year. It accounts for 26% of the total revenue, the highest in terms of value. According to the draft budget, the Bank of Mongolia would purchase 20 tons of gold next year. The projection of gold purchase in 2021 is achievable. As of October 2020, the Bank of Mongolia purchased 17.5 tons of gold. The government plans to export 42 million tons of coal next year, earning 1.34 trillion Mongolian tugrus. The target might not be achievable. It is doubtful if coal export would reach the projected volume under unfavorable conditions such as bad infrastructure, possible COVID-19 restrictions, and external factors related to the Chinese demand for coal import. Mongolia exported 36.5 million tons of coal in 2018, an all-time high, and 36.4 million tons in 2019. The country had a goal to export 42 million tons of coal this year, but failed to fulfill the goal due to the COVID-19 restrictions. The finance minister believes the Chinese economic and industrial recovery would make the coal export target possible with the help of the Green Gateway regulation, which came into effect 3 months ago. According to the draft budget for 2021, Mongolia would earn 1.5 trillion Mongolian tuks from exporting 1.4 million tons of copper concentrate and 183 billion MNT from exporting 5.8 million barrels of oil. The first meeting of the chairs of the Joint Working Group to advance the implementation of the Mongolia-Russia-China Economic Corridor program was held virtually on November the 5th. Participants took part in the meeting were headed by Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia, Mungchun, Deputy Minister of the Economic Development of Russia, Petr Zasyevsky, Vice Chairman of the National Development and Reform Commission of China, Ning Zhishe. At the meeting, the joint statement on the commencement of the feasibility study for renovation of Central Railway Corridor of Mongolia-Russia-China Economic Corridor, as well as its draft working plan, has been finalized, and sides agreed to sign during the next meeting of the heads of the three countries. Furthermore, the sides held discussion on the road transport project that was agreed to be realized as a priority within the Trilateral Economic Corridor and progress of the project to build gas pipeline connecting Russia and China through Mongolian territory, while exchanging views on other areas of cooperation. Within the framework of the Mongolia-Russia-China Economic Corridor program, which was approved during the summit of the heads of the three countries in 2016, 32 projects and activities in 9 sectors, including transportation, energy, industry, border customs, science and technology, and agriculture, will be jointly implemented. On November the 5th, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, signed a loan agreement with the government of Mongolia in Ulaanbaatar to provide a loan worth 25 billion Japanese yen within the framework of the COVID-19 Crisis Response Emergency Support Loan. It is a budget support for the COVID-19 response being implemented by the government of Mongolia, with the purpose to mitigate the adverse socio-economic impacts caused by the COVID-19. The loan will contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals through providing support for Mongolia's urgent measures to protect public health, stimulate the economy, support livelihoods, and expand social protection. Well, that's all for the program. Thanks for watching and see you next time.